The theme behind these cocktails, when I talked to Craig, he was like, I want these cocktails to kind of be, we're an Italian restaurant, but to kind of be cheeky mobster Italian, you know, kind of like Frank Sinatra, Al Capone, you know, bada bing, bada bang, typical American mafia Italian, but not that we're mafia, you understand. So we're just kind of playing off that theme. So when I name these cocktails, each of these cocktails has a little story behind it, or at least something to tell. And the first one thing is, now, I assume all of you guys are members of the Illuminati. I'm just joking. I heard the mixologist before was a big Illuminati guy. So, anyway, I'm not. That's a good joke. So, I am not. But that first cocktail is called Take the Cannolis. Does anybody understand the reference to Take the Cannolis? So here's the thing. I didn't think a lot of you guys might, but here's the thing. You should know that most of your clients, most of your guests are going to understand that reference. Michelle, you understand Take the Cannolis? So who here has ever seen the movie The Godfather? Okay. There's a famous scene in there where they pop this guy in the cornfield. They kill him. And then the guy has this box of cannolis, and he's like, what do we do with the guns? He's like, leave the guns. Take the cannolis. And then they go ahead and take the cannolis because, you know, he's like, and by the way, for those who are real Godfather fans, that line was actually improvised. It was not in the script. The guy was like, the two actors are a bunch of, you know. Brando? It wasn't Brando. No, these are just some mobster thugs. The actors who were playing them, they're famous, but they were mobster thugs. And they kill the guy, and the guy's like, what should we do with the guns? He's like going, leave the guns. Take the cannolis. And so they took them. And that's a famous scene. Anyway, this cocktail is called Take the Cannolis. And our ingredients are Tito's vodka as our base spirit, whereas Tito's is right here.
Should be.
He's going to be my bar back, if you don't mind. My superstar bar back. And then this is called Italicus. Italicus is a bergamot liqueur. Who knows what bergamot is? It's kind of like a cross between a lemon and a grapefruit. And it's a citrus that grows along the Amalfi coast of Italy. That's the western coast of Italy. And it grows on these slopes, and it's kind of bitter. It's not like, the reason you've never had it, it's not like a blood orange or anything. It's like really kind of bitter and sour, but it's got this really aromatic flavor, nose to it. And now we've added some sugars and other things to it, and we have this really wonderful, yummy little liqueur. So let's go ahead and pour a little of that, and people can taste that. It's just kind of like a citrus liqueur, but it's very, very tasty. Then we got on there, we got some fresh English cucumber juice. Okay, guys, these are English cucumbers. The ones that are in the plastic wrapper, they don't have seeds in them, and they don't have wax on the outside, because those seeds and the wax are very, very bitter. But they've got all that flavor. And people forget that cucumber is a melon. So when you add a touch of sugar to a cucumber, all that melon flavor explodes, and that's really, really tasty. So I juiced them down with the skins on, because there's a lot of that flavor is in the skins. Now, is this an acid or a sugar? Acid. This is an acid. So I'm using this as part of my acidity for my cocktail. But I left the skins on, and look at that beautiful, bright forest green color. I want to set myself up. I have fresh lime juice and simple syrup. We got lime juice and simple syrup.
Yes, sir. Lime right here.
Okay.
Simple right there.
Simple right there. And I need some Moscato d'Asti. Moscato d'Asti. What is Moscato d'Asti? Anybody have any idea? Oh, you're going to be excited about this. Moscato d'Asti is an Italian sparkling dessert wine. It is not cloying and sweet like a syrupy sweet dessert wine. It's very light and very fruity. Think of it like a sweet champagne, but not like syrupy sweet, like light and fruity sweet. Super yummy, super delicious, super cheap, low in alcohol, like 9%. If you're a college student, you're like, yeah, it's my new favorite wine. You're gonna love it. Try it. This is awesome. All right. I use some Prosecco. Prosecco's, we'll just have to balance it out by adding a touch more sugar, but it's going to be delicious. Better to serve rather than flat, right? We don't want to. Exactly. Okay. Where's this headed? So next time we'll do that. We'll open up another one tomorrow or whatever, so it's going to be fresh. I'll show you how to open a proper champagne bottle. We should never hear that pop. We want to keep the bubbles in the bottle. When you're opening it up, we used to say you're twisting the bottle in your hand like this, and you work out the cork, and when it comes out, it should sound like the Queen passing gas. No, she just passed away, so maybe we'll have to come up with a new phrase for that. But it should sound like it should be like, oh my. So that's that. It should be silent but deadly, right? All right, now I'm going to build this cocktail. You all have this cocktail. Take the cannoli in front of me. First thing I want to do is get my highball, my glassware. So I need a highball, and I want to get my a lime wedge. Do we have an edible flowers or not?
Yes, we have edible pea flowers.
Okay, let's get those. I'm going to say no to that, and we're just going to use a cucumber garnish instead for today, and that's fine. So as we're building cocktails, I'm going to set up all my ingredients, and obviously I want to make something clear right at the beginning, especially to my senior bartenders. Guys, what I'm doing is adding about 30 ingredients to your bar that are not commonly found behind most bars in the United States of America. Because you go behind any bar in the United States, you've always got cherries, you've always got olives, you've always got Coca-Cola, you've always got vodka, gin, tequila, rum. You always get the same 200 ingredients to work with. I'm adding about 30 new things to your bar, and it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve and a tiny bit of a pain in the butt as you find homes for these ingredients. But once they found a home and you know where it is, that's where it lives, you can kick these cocktails out just as fast as any cocktail you've ever made in your entire life. Once you've got these recipes memorized, you just throw them together and kick them out just as fast. So there'll be a little learning curve in the beginning, and it'll be a little bit slow, but I want you to trust me. I'm asking right in the very beginning for you to trust me that once you get your speed up, you'll be kicking these out just like every other cocktail you've ever made in your entire life. All right, so what I'm going to ask you guys to do is to help me. You're going to tell me the ingredients. You're going to tell me how to build this cocktail. So you're going to call out the proportions, and you're going to call them out in the right order. So what's the first ingredient I'm going to add? Simple syrup. Why simple?
Because it's your modifier.
Okay, let's start from first principles. I got my mixing glass, I got everything here. I'm looking at my recipe. Am I going to shake or stir this cocktail?
Shake.
I'm shaking it. Why?
It's got lime in it.
It's got a mixer in it, which is a non-alcoholic, non-carbonated ingredient. In this case, lime juice. Yes, you're absolutely correct. Go ahead and tell me how much to put in. What am I putting in?
You're putting in 1/4 ounce of lime juice. Well, if you're on simple, 1 ounce of simple.
1 ounce of simple syrup. Okay, that's easy enough.
Do you care if it was lime or simple first? As long as
No.
it's one of the mixers?
Mixer to modifier to base spirit. I don't care what mixers are going in what order. Makes no difference to me. Okay, what's next?
Cucumber juice.
Wait, what about the lime juice? Oh, okay,
Yeah, you can do lime juice.
1/4 lime juice. Okay. Okay, what's next?
Ounce and 1/4 English cucumber juice.
1 ounce and 1/4. So I know that that's half an ounce, and I know that that's 3/4 of an ounce. So that's 1 ounce and 1/4, right? Does math work on that? College students? Is that yes or no?
Yes, it works.
All right. And it's right up to the top there. If you pour it under like that, that can be up to 1/4 ounce of liquid, and 1/4 ounce can make all the difference in the balance of our cocktail. So pour the right amount, right up to the top, almost overflowing but not overflowing. Okay, what else goes in there? 1/2 ounce of Italicus, which is my modifying spirit. All right, so let's take that. 1/2 ounce, and then what? 1 ounce of Tito's vodka. Okay, now I'm going to add my ice. And I'm going to take this time, I fill it 3/4 with ice. Ice is cheap, don't be cheap with the ice, okay? Doesn't cost as much, and it makes it important to dilute at the right rate of dilution. I'm going to take the same opportunity to go ahead and fill up my glass with ice as well. and I have my garnish ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to set my garnish at 2 o'clock, and then I'm going to go ahead, and I can use my mixing glass, but I'm going to use the cheater tin because that's what you guys have and that's what you should be using. Put it firmly on the bar. I don't connect them in my hand. On the bar, nice firm smack. I put my thumb on the top, rip it around so my pinky wraps around the back side. And I put my pinky on the bottom and grip it around here at the thumb side. It makes no difference how small my hands are or how wet they are. I've now got like 4 points of contact or 5 points. It can't get free from me. So now I go back and forth at 2 o'clock relative to the gas. I go shake it, don't fake it, and smile. Hear that velocity? I'm cracking the ice. There should be some ice chips in there. Okay, now here's the important part. Where are my straws? Okay, we have a whole lot more than that, right?
Little straws, big straws.
Okay, we need lots and lots of big straws. Lots and lots of them for tasting. So I'm going to go ahead and taste this for balance. Acid, sugar, and alcohol. Frankly, tastes pretty tasty to me. I know I'm still going to add some Prosecco, but I'm always in pursuit of the perfect cocktail. And I figure you guys like things a little sweeter down here, so I'm going to add a tiny bit more sugar. Add that there, and then how much Prosecco?
1 ounce.
1 ounce of Prosecco. So, now I've made my adjustment. I'm not going to reshake. I'm just going to tumble roll back and forth, so that's mixed throughout. And I'm going to fine strain, that is double strain, into the glass. First of all, it's a pretty looking cocktail. I'm not going to over pour. I'm going to tap it off there. I'm going to raise this up, slide this under, and pull away. I never drip on the bar. Yeah? Okay. And then I'm going to take a straw. Where are my garnish tongs? And I go ahead and put this in there. Now I'm going to serve this at, the garnish is 2 o'clock relative to the guest. So you're my guest, and that's going to be 2 o'clock relative to you. And I'm going to go ahead and put the straw in front of the garnish. Okay? And be the bacon. Serve it like that every time. Don't serve a cocktail like that and kind of, here you go. I mean, that's okay. It looks nice, but how beautiful does it look if it looks like that every single time? So do we have cocktail napkins? Do you serve cocktail napkins or? Okay. So the first thing you do, when the guest comes and orders your cocktail, the very first thing you do is you sit down the cocktail napkin in front of the guest. So here's my guest, and I'm going to set this right about 3 inches or 2 inches off the bar in front of him, right in the middle of his chest, perfectly square. I'm not going to be like, hey, how you doing? And just throw a cocktail napkin in or have it twirl around. It's perfectly lined up. It takes once you get used to it, it takes just as much time as setting down any cocktail napkin. You just have to be mindful of how you're setting it, how you're orienting in front of the guest. Then when I'm going to serve him his cocktail, I'm going to go ahead and place this right in the center of the cocktail with the garnish at 2 o'clock, and that's the presentation. Sir, take the cannolis. And I tell him the name of the cocktail, called Take the Cannolis. Before we all taste that, why don't we let Michelle give it a taste, and then we're going to pass it around for everyone else to taste. Now, I made that one a tiny bit sweet, but the way I look at it, guys, if we make our cocktails a little bit, a tiny bit on the sweet side, it's still in the flavor zone, but that garnish is acidic. I actually had in mind using an edible flower, which is slightly acidic, and that acidity will balance it out. Instead, we're going to use the cucumber juice. But I could add more cucumber juice and balance that out. Very fun summertime cocktail. You sell a lot of those. I get that a lot. People say, I don't like cucumber, but I like that. A lot of people, most people love cucumber, but some people have an aversion to cucumber. Some people have an aversion to cilantro. Cilantro tastes like soap to them. It's a genetic thing. Cucumber, not so much. Cucumber is a melon. But when we add a little bit of sugar to that melon flavor, boom. We know it tastes like cucumber, but it tastes like cucumber heightened. What's the key to a great cocktail? Quality spirits. And today we're using Tito's, which we all talked about. What can you tell me about Tito's? We talked about it yesterday. What can you tell me about Tito's? Gluten-free. From Texas, 6 times the sill, from corn. Copper pot, there you go. Boom, 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 boom. Look at these guys, superstars. Now, we know it's quality spirits. Fresh ingredients. We got fresh lime juice, we got simple syrup, we got fresh cucumber juice. And balance. Not too tart, not too sweet. This is a little bit on the sweet side, but not crazy. Not too strong. I'm sure the alcohol isn't very strong at all in this one. And not too weak, not too thin. You can taste the alcohol, but it's not kicking your butt. It shouldn't make you wince. You just worry about building from the mixer to the modifier to the base spirit, and in the aggregate, you're generally building from the least expensive to the most expensive ingredient. Make sense?